Why do some people with average salaries become millionaires, while highly educated people go broke? Why do lottery winners lose everything, while ordinary people quietly build wealth for decades? According to Morgan Housel, the answer is simple. Money is not about intelligence, it's about behavior. This book completely changes the way you think about wealth, success, happiness, greed, and financial freedom. And in this video, we'll break down the most powerful lessons from The Psychology of Money, lessons that can literally change your financial future forever. Hello guys, welcome to BookVault. Today we're going to summarize one of the most powerful books on money and human behavior, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book can completely change the way you think about wealth, success, saving, and financial freedom. So, let's get started. Introduction. Most people think making money is all about IQ, education, strategy, market knowledge. But Morgan Housel says financial success is actually a soft skill. You can be a genius and still lose everything. And you can be an ordinary person and quietly become wealthy. The author shares two powerful real-life examples. One was a janitor named Ronald Reed. He lived a simple life, saved consistently, invested patiently, and eventually became a millionaire. The other was a highly educated Harvard executive named Richard Fusconi. He earned millions of dollars, lived a luxurious lifestyle, took on massive debt, and eventually went bankrupt. Same world, different behavior, different outcome. And that's the core idea of this entire book. Lesson 1. No one is crazy. One of the most powerful ideas in the book is this. People make money decisions based on their personal experiences. Someone who grew up poor sees money differently from someone born rich. Someone who lived through inflation or recession thinks differently about risk than someone who grew up during economic growth. So when people do crazy things with money, they're not actually crazy. Their decisions make sense according to the life they've experienced. For example, poor people often buy lottery tickets. Rich people often invest for the future. From the outside, this may look irrational, but Morgan explains that many poor people buy hope because they feel normal opportunities are out of reach. That emotional reality shapes financial behavior. Main lesson. Never judge people's financial choices too quickly. Everyone sees money through a different lens. Lesson 2. Luck and risk. This chapter is one of the deepest in the book. Morgan says, success is never completely skill, and failure is never completely stupidity. He uses Bill Gates as an example. Yes, Gates was brilliant and hardworking, but he was also lucky. He attended one of the very few schools in the world that had advanced computer access in the 1960s. That opportunity changed everything. At the same time, Gates had a talented friend named Kent Evans, who died in a tragic accident before reaching success. One person experienced luck, another experienced risk. The big idea. Life is influenced by forces outside our control. That means, don't blindly worship successful people. Don't completely hate yourself for failures. Stay humble during success. Stay hopeful during hard times. Because luck and risk are always part of life. Lesson 3. Never enough. This chapter explains why even rich people destroy their lives chasing more money. Morgan talks about businessmen and investors who already had wealth, power, fame, luxury, but they still risked everything because they wanted more. Why? Because comparison never ends. There will always be someone richer, someone more successful, someone with a bigger house, someone making more money. And if your happiness depends on beating other people, you will never feel satisfied. One powerful quote from the book says, "The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving." That line is life-changing because many people spend their entire lives chasing numbers they don't even need. Main lesson. Learn to say, "I have enough." That mindset protects your peace, happiness, and freedom. Lesson 4. The man in the car paradox. People buy expensive things because they want respect and admiration. Luxury cars, designer clothes, big houses. But Morgan says something very interesting. When you see someone driving a Ferrari, you usually don't think, wow, I respect that person. Instead, you think, wow, people would respect me if I had that car. That means people admire the object, not the owner. Main lesson. Trying to impress people with money rarely works the way we imagine. Lesson 5. Wealth is what you don't see. This is one of the most important lessons in the book. Richness is visible. Wealth is invisible. Richness is expensive watches, fancy vacations, luxury lifestyles. But wealth is savings, investments, financial security, freedom. Many people look rich, but are secretly drowning in debt. And many truly wealthy people live simple, quiet lives. Morgan explains that real wealth is hidden. Main lesson. Money you don't spend today gives you power and freedom tomorrow. Lesson 6. Compounding is magic. This chapter explains why patience is one of the greatest financial advantages. Compounding means small gains, repeated consistently over long periods of time, become massive. Even small investments can grow enormously if given enough time. The key is start early, stay consistent, avoid interrupting the process. Most people underestimate how powerful time really is. Main lesson. Wealth is built slowly, not overnight. Lesson 7. Getting rich versus staying rich. Making money and keeping money are two completely different skills. Getting rich often requires risk, boldness, optimism, but staying rich requires humility, patience, discipline, a fear of losing everything. Many people make money once. Very few keep it for life. Morgan says survival is the key. Main lesson. The goal is not just to make money. The goal is to never lose everything. Lesson 8. Save money. Most people think wealth comes from high income, but this book explains that savings matter more than salary. You can earn a lot of money and still stay broke if your lifestyle keeps expanding. Saving gives you flexibility, safety, opportunity, peace of mind. And the best part is, saving is more about habits than income. Main lesson. Living below your means is one of the most powerful financial decisions you can make. Lesson 9. Freedom is the ultimate goal. Morgan says the best thing money can buy is control over your time. Not status, not luxury, freedom. Freedom means waking up without stress, choosing how you spend your day, spending time with family, saying no to things you hate. That is true wealth. Powerful idea. Having control over your time is one of the highest forms of success. Lesson 10. Reasonable is better than rational. Many financial experts focus only on logic and numbers, but humans are emotional. Morgan says it's better to make reasonable decisions you can stick with than perfect decisions that emotionally destroy you. For example, a risky investment may look mathematically smart, but if it causes stress and panic, you may quit at the worst possible time. Main lesson. Good financial plans should fit your personality and emotions. Final message of the book. In the end, the psychology of money teaches us that wealth is quiet, patience is powerful, greed destroys people, time is the secret weapon. Behavior matters more than intelligence. And maybe the most important lesson of all is this. Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are, and a lot to do with how you behave. Outro. So the next time you think about money, don't just think about investments, business, salary, markets. Think about your habits, your emotions, your patience, your relationship with enough. Because financial success is not built overnight. It's built quietly, through discipline, consistency, and smart behavior repeated for years. And that is the real psychology of money.